Hello, Time Padawans. I'm your Jedi Master today, and I'd like to talk to you guys about some of my favorite Star Wars games. Now, I know I typically, whenever I'm doing a sit-down talk video, I'm not talking about games as much, but a lot of my channel is a lot of gaming. It's a lot of my filler content so that, YouTube doesn't mark me as inactive. And I do have a lot of history with Star Wars games. I played them a lot growing up. Um, and I have a lot of good memories playing these games because I grew up during the age of the golden era of Star Wars video games. Due to the fact that it seems like we're about to have a second golden age for Star Wars video games, I figured I'd go ahead and just talk about it. Now, it's not any kind of professional list or anything. It's not even a top 10 or top 5. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 games here. That just stood out to me a little bit more, whether it be as an adult or as a child. Because a lot of these games, I did play as a kid. And on that, a lot of these games are Xbox games. So I apologize in advance for the green screen. It will key out the box themselves because, they're green. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with what's at the bottom of my, I guess, favorites list. And that would be Jedi Starfighter. Now, Jedi Starfighter is actually a game that I did not get until 2017. And it was a pickup that I actually didn't know about. I had known about Starfighter, which was a game that was released for the PS2, later re-released for the Xbox as the special edition, had improved graphics, everything like that. And then the PS2 version was actually ported over the PC version. Why the Xbox version was, I don't know. Maybe there was some deal with Microsoft. Microsoft had a lot of Star Wars deals at this time. This is the sequel to that game, and it's, I think, a lot better. It's a lot more fun, and I had a lot of fun playing it. Now, it was only released for consoles, so PS2 and Xbox. And the Xbox version actually has you can see right here. It says Xbox exclusive Coruscant level, which again, I think Microsoft had a few exclusives with LucasArts at this time for the Star Wars games. Now, next up on my list is going to be Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, don't worry, guys. I have no dreams of grandeur that this is actually a good, well-made game. It's not very well made, honestly. But I have a lot of memories with this game. I played it a lot whenever I was young, and I recently replayed it. I played on my Xbox Series X, and I finished the series for the channel for the original Xbox version, which, don't worry, the Series X version is coming out. It full 4K and everything. And it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's a good fighter, and I think that it's best played as multiplayer. The single player, it has kind of I guess what you would call a mashup of episode 3's story. I thought it was really nice. It also has exclusive movie content. It has some stuff in it that was kind of cut out from the films themselves. Like, there's the Magna Guard scene where Obi-Wan jumps down, and in the movie he drops it on to the Magna Guards, which I know I'm butchering that's pronunciation, but every single time that I've heard it, I can't say it properly for some reason. I apologize for my butchered pronunciation of it. But yeah, that particular fight was actually cut out of the original film due to being over budget, overproduction, everything like that. And this, it has it. And yeah, I think that, there's a good, it's a good game. It's just not a very well made game. Alright, and next up is going to be Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Now, this is where I would go from games that I can only kind of sort of recommend to games that I would outright recommend to people. This has not aged the best, but it's my favorite out of the Jedi Knights series. A lot of people like Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. I think this one's the best personally. And it is a story about Kyle Katarn after he turns away from the Jedi Order after the Valley of the Jedi incident. I apologize. It's really early in the morning here, so I'm having a little bit of trouble, putting brain together. But, it's really, really fun. And it has probably what I would call the precursor to what Fallen Order ended up becoming. And a lot of good lightsaber combat. It is kind of the succession of Star Wars Obi-Wan, which I have some opinions about, but it's kind of the succession to that with the lightsaber combat. It makes it really feel like you're playing a Jedi. And not only that, you also get blasters that you can use and force powers and all that kind of stuff. It feels really good to play. It is dated now and obviously has been done better and has been done again and again and again. And Jedi Academy was kind of the succession of all of it. And then finally, Fallen Order kind of continued what I would call the kind of Jedi Knight style. People call it the Dark Souls, but Dark Souls came out after these games. So there you go. All right, now we're getting to the really good stuff. Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's Star Wars Battlefront, the game that basically revolutionized the arena-style combat with massive maps and all of that kind of stuff, but done better. This one in particular focuses very heavily on the prequels with its story arc, but it does the original trilogy as well. And you can actually fight as a Jedi. You can do space battles in this game. I would have really liked to see the original Battlefront 3. There is like gameplay footage that you can find of like the really, really early into development. Like it ran at like, I think 15 FPS normally. I would have loved to see the succession to this though. It would have been very awesome. Obviously, EA ended up buying out Pandemic, and Pandemic ended up shutting down. DICE took over the property, and we ended up getting the 2 new Battlefronts, which I have mixed opinions about. But yeah, this was, it was a game that I played a lot, and I played the original a lot too. And honestly, I think this one did a lot better. It was basically Battlefront done better. It had a better story. It had it had live, which I think the original had live too. But this live is still active if you play the PC version. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I still play it to this day. Every once in a while, I'll get an itch and I'll boot it up and I'll throw in some instant action. Play it a little bit. Lot of fun. All right, so the only I think the only game that I have that's like been released in the last 10 years. This is the only one that's been released in the last 10 years that I have right in front of me. Actually in the last 3 years. 3 years, 2019. This is Jedi Fallen Order. Now, take everything that I said about Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast and perfect it. This game did everything that Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast did, but in a more modern sense. I have had more fun playing this than I ever did playing Battlefront, the new ones. And the reason for that is because I really feel like this game was trying. Respawn did a really excellent job at this. And this is the PS4 version. I actually have all versions of this game. I have the PS5 version. I have the Xbox One X/Series X because it actually got patched to work with the Series X. So I have the One X version. And I have the PC version twice. So obviously I liked this game. And for everything that it did for this series so far is what I think is going to lead us into the second golden age or the second renaissance of Star Wars video games. And I'm excited and I'm happy that this game came out when it did, because the Star Wars license at the time, people were really upset at the time, myself included. I heavily debated never touching another Star Wars game ever again. And the sequel movies were, doing their thing. The Mandalorian had not come out yet. People were just really down about the Star Wars franchise. And this game came out at the perfect time for everybody. And just revitalized everything. And since then, I think we've been on a uphill climb, and it's been good. So yeah, I like this game. Everybody's favorite hidden gem, Republic Commando. Now, whenever I played Republic Commando as a kid, I actually played the demo that was included on Knights of the Old Republic 2, I believe. And man, did I play that a lot. It was a lot of fun. Finally, around 2006, I managed to get my hands on a copy of it. And I actually played it on PC first, besides the demo, of course, and fell in love with it. It people would always be like, "Oh, it's the hidden gem of the Star Wars thing." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, from the demo I played, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not special. But it's pretty good." And then I actually, I got it, and man, it really is special. And not only that, it is probably one of the best looking games on the original Xbox. It looks really good for a Xbox game. And the fact that you get to use your squad and all that kind of stuff is really, really fun. I loved, maneuvering my squad, telling them, hey, get in sniping position, get in the cover position, doing all that. It was really fun, really interesting. I think that it really led to the game really being elevated from, just being a typical squad-based shooter, which had already been done a couple times with Rogue something. There's a couple of games out there that did it. It just really elevated that combat, and I feel like that it was very underrated. Now that I've played it heavily, I have had my share of fun with this game, if you guys can't tell. Boy, we're down to the big ones. I think you guys already know what are going to be the last two. The real question is, do you know what order they're going to be? Now, if you would ask me whenever I was a child which order they would be in, I told you the first one would be at number 1, the second one would be at number 2. You asked me a couple years ago, I would have probably told you that it just depends on what kind of day I'm having as to what, I feel like would be number 1. But you ask me nowadays, I'm going to tell you that the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is at number 2. It hurts me to say, because this is a fantastic game. Like, Republic Commando, Fallen Order, Battlefront 2, all these other games that I've mentioned, amazing. Republic Commando, which I think would be my I'd say it's my third favorite Star Wars game. It would be like right here, way up to the freaking stratosphere, is Knights of the Republic. I don't think a Star Wars game has been done as good prior or since as both Knights of the Republic and Knights of the Republic 2. Now, the reason Knights of the Republic is at the second spot for my personal favorites is because it is not a whole lot different. This is basically a New Hope with a Old Republic skin over it. That being said, the New Hope formula works. The big, giant, planet-destructive device that you have to destroy in order to save the galaxy, it works. It's why it's been done so many times with Star Wars, and I think this game does it even better than A New Hope did. And, That being said, that's not to say that this game is unoriginal. There's a lot of good stuff. There's the fact that the twist is that you are playing as the Sith Lord that has been talked about throughout this entire game that was like supposedly killed was just like mind-boggling on the level of Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker and Leia Skywalker's father. That kind of level of twist. And seeing people's first reactions, you can find it on YouTube. Just seeing them for the first time, I remember what it was like. I was playing this game late at night. You know, I was young and I was playing it like really late at night. And I had gotten to that part and I was like, oh, I'm fighting Malik. Yeah, and he started talking and I was just like my little self, I was just like, wait, what? And he was like, remember who we are, Reverend. And this like, it has this entire flashback of like what characters are saying as they're saying them from different points of the game. Karth and, the Jedi Masters and Bastilov whenever you're on Dantooine. And the camera pans around and Revan takes off the mask and it's you. I was just like, the chills went through me. I was just like, I could not believe what I was seeing as a kid. It blew my mind. And a lot of people say that it was the I am your father of this generation. And yeah, it was. It really was. I think all of that combined really just helps elevate it. But like I said, there's a reason why it's at number 2, and we'll get to that. And Big Daddy. Knights of the Old Republic 2. Now let's talk about why exactly it is at number 1 and not at number 2 on this list. Like I said, you would ask me when I was a kid, I would have told you it's the opposite. You'd ask me a few years ago. Actually, y'all did ask me a few years ago. And I had very promptly said, I'm not sure. It just depends on what day you ask me. But as the years have progressed, as I've played both of these more and more and more and more, I've realized that the writing, the characters, the story, and everything with Knights of the Republic 2 is just on another level. This is the Empire Strikes Back of the Knights of the Old Republic series. It just works on so many different levels. The fact that Obsidian was able to make this in under, like, I think they had like a year to complete it. The fact that they were able to write and do everything on this scale just blows my mind. It is so damn good. And I feel like that if Obsidian had gotten more time to work on it, it would have maybe gotten remembered better as a whole. But if you have it on PC, there restored content mod. And the restored content mod basically polishes this game off. This game I made a Steam review over this game, and I said that it is a diamond in the rough, and it's been polished to shine brighter than ever. That's what the restored content mod has done for this game. It had so much content that ended up getting cut out, particularly with Korban. I've noticed during my long play, I have noticed that Korban was the most buggy part of the game, honestly. And I think it's because there was a lot of stuff cut from Korban. And the fact of the matter is that this game really did do some stuff that hasn't been done since and might not ever be done again. And I'm bringing up Korban again. On Korban, whenever you go into the cave, the Chirac cave, there is a part where you relive parts of the Mandalorian Wars. And the way it's done, as I was playing it for my long play, I realized, holy crap, this is a personification of PTSD. And no Star Wars game has ever talked about that. No Star Wars game has ever gone into like the mind of what it's like to fight in a war for a Jedi. A war so terrible that ended in so much bloodshed that it ended up cutting Mitra off from the Force. And this is truly something special. If you guys can, I would highly recommend playing it on the PC with the restored content mod and like community fix mods and all that kind of stuff. Even if you don't want to do texture mods, anything like that, the community fix mods and resolution patch and the restored content mod with the Droid Planet add-on, it'll completely revitalize your thought if you played this on the Xbox only. Alright guys, so that's all I had to say. Like I said, this wasn't a super professional video. As you can tell, I kind of just talked about the games, my history with them, and why I like them so much. I didn't really go into, like, I didn't have a script, I didn't have anything like that. So I just talked, and I think maybe you guys would like this kind of content. And if you guys like this, maybe I can do some more like this. It's up to you guys. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end that video there. So if you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Let me know down in the comment section if you want something more like this again in the future. Tell a friend today about my Star Wars channel, because it's pretty awesome. And may the Force be with you. Always.